In a tragic incident, well-known stunt artist SM Raju was killed in a horrific car crash on Sunday morning that took place in Tamil Nadu during the shooting of a high-risk car toppling sequence for Tamil star Arya's upcoming film Vettuvan, directed by Pa Ranjith. In fact, chilling visuals of the accident have surfaced, depicting Raju driving a car at high speed. You can see the visuals on your screen, and this is before it violently topples and crumples. And you can see the crew members there. They were seen rushing to the mangled wreckage, trying to pull Raju out, only to discover that he had been killed. Now, the atmosphere on set instantly turned grim, as what we know so far is that Raju has died, and this is a heartbreaking tragedy. While actors like Vishal have stepped up with personal promises of lifelong financial support for Raju's family, the tragedy has in some ways reignited long-standing concerns about the absence of standard operating procedures, weak safety oversight and inadequate compensation structures, especially for stunt professionals. And this is all despite high physical risk that they face on sets. So are there persistent risks that stunt artists face? Do we really need such dangerous stunts today? Surely that there's technology, there's automation that can be put to better use, but really no risk justifies potential loss of life. We will be joined by a panel of experts to discuss this, but first Sam Daniel, my colleague, joins us. Sam, help us understand what really happened here, but let's first listen into Sam's conversation with actor and filmmaker Vishal, who has also pledged support for his family.
A film stunt person, Raju, was killed while performing a car stunt in the Nagapattinam district of Tamil Nadu in a film directed by Pa Ranjith. Joining us now, Mr. Vishal, the General Secretary of the South Indian Nadigar Association, South Indian Artists Association. Vishal, thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry about the loss of this well-known stunt person. What exactly happened?
While doing a toppling sequence, the stunt choreographer was Dilip Subramanian Master. The car landed, toppled. Everyone, as usual, that's mandatory. They run to see whether he's safe or not. So when they went and saw, they opened the door, he was numb, like completely. He was completely numb. There was no. He was not breathing. He couldn't talk. Nothing. He was just lying there. And when they picked him up, they tried to get him back to senses, but there was something. I think they felt there was something wrong, so they immediately rushed him to the hospital. But when they brought him to the hospital, they said that he has passed away. So it's really unfortunate, and I think still the cause of death is underway because the autopsy has been done. Definitely nothing from the car has either injured him or the impact of the toppling has injured him. So I'm still clueless. Most saddening part is Dilip Master I heard that he told him, no, it's a normal stunt, so don't worry, just do the lead, the rest I'll do with the cannon blast. He had told him not to worry. He had told him several times, it's just a normal stunt, so don't worry, don't do the toppling, just do the lead, the rest I'll do it. But he insisted to do that stunt.
Are you hearing about any protocol lapses? Is there a need to review protocols during such stunt performances?
Whether it is my production company or any other producer who's producing a film, I make sure that there's always an ambulance, a doctor and a nurse, and also a physiotherapist, because the most saddening part is all the stunt artists who get injured, they never mention it to anyone until and unless you go and ask them, because they are scared that they won't be called for work the next day.
What kind of safety mechanisms are done in the car, in the vehicle?
It's always the same mandatory, the pipes, the rods, which make sure that even if the car topples, it doesn't crumble. Right. That's one thing. So it's like rock solid. And the next thing is the driver's safety, the helmet for your body and your suit and the whole strapping, so that you don't have impact on the steering wheel and everything. Everything is taken care. I feel like someone close to me, I've lost someone who's close to me. He might be even stunt artist, but I've known him professionally. Like I've known him on a day-to-day basis throughout the span of 20 years with different stunt choreographers. So it's my duty. I felt like, he's got a family. I think he's got 2 kids. So we would definitely want to see how we could reach out to for the future of the family.
That was Mr. Vishal, General Secretary of the South Indian Artists Association, as the industry mourns the death of well-known stunt person Raju. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, for NDTV.
Well, we're joined by Sunil Rodrigues, who's an action director. We have Lata Srinivasan, author and entertainment journalist. We also have Chetan Kumar Ahimsa, former actor and also an expert. Thank you all of you for joining us on this broadcast. Lata, tell us a little bit about the state of stunt industry today in Tamil films, because Vishal was saying that even if the stunt artists get injured, they don't talk about it because they want to be called to work the next day. The first thing that I thought when I saw these visuals is, why was this stunt even necessary? What are your thoughts?
Thanks, Vasudha. Firstly, it's very unfortunate that this has happened and he's lost his life. But while stunts are performed everywhere, including Hollywood, see, the major differences in the Indian film industry, I think stunt workers are like gig workers. They come on a day-to-day basis, and I think they get paid on a day-to-day basis, unless they're a stunt master, which is a very different, the kind of payments they receive are different. So obviously, if they let, the stunt master know that they're injured, they're not going to be called in for work for the next day, which is again a loss of revenue and financial problems for them. And unfortunately, as far as the whether it's the Tamil film industry or the Indian film industry as such, I feel that the safety measures are absolutely not up to par where stunts are concerned, because even in the incident involving Raju today, we saw the video, and even when the car took off on the ramp, and ultimately what was he wearing? He was wearing a helmet. How does that protect you? There is absolutely no protection. And I don't, and stunt guys are not given health insurance either, right? And that's a big problem in the Indian film industry itself. So I think there are multiple issues here, but where stunts are part of, all high octane films and add a lot of momentum and value to the project, I definitely think that where stunt people are concerned, the kind of monies they're getting paid, or, the safety standards and the health insurance are just not there.
Right, that is a very important point. Mr. Rodrigues, why hasn't the Indian film industry institutionalized legally binding SOPs for these high-risk stunts? There have been repeated accidents. Is it because what Lata is talking about, how most of them are like gig workers, they're not part of what we see as formal workforce? Why hasn't this been done yet?
It's not about stunt artists. All over the world, it is the same. It's the same. We do stunts because of the movie requires what type of stunt we have to do and what we have not to do. It's about all the safety. The safety, I saw this video. I think so. Even I'm trying to judge what is the mistake in this stunt. And it's the same method. What Vijay sir also had told before this interview, I saw his bits of him. There's a full safety precaution taken. The helmet is only the thing what ma'am was saying, the bang, when it's banged the sideways, it protects your head at the side, because your body is fully locked with the harness. Your body doesn't move here and there. Neither when you do a stunt, the car stunt is very safe by doing all these pipes and everything. What wrong went? Even I am trying to figure it out.
Right. Chetan Ahimsa, coming back to my original question, do we really need stunts like this even in today's cinema, especially done manually, because there's so much of automation that we talk about? Why aren't we using more of technology?
First of all, thank you for having me. We are all deeply saddened by Mr. SM Raju's death, and condolences to his family. If you look at the film industry, these fighters essentially put their life on the line at every step. In some way, I am actually surprised that more such deaths don't go on, or serious injuries don't go on. See, if you look at the paradox of films, is that you show the one who is hitting as the tough guy and the ones who are getting hit as the weak guy. In actuality, on the set, it's the one that is hitting that is actually quite weak and is not coordinated, but the ones who are getting hit are flying off, falling on top of glass, falling on top of tables, getting injured consistently because it's such a risky thing that they're doing. So essentially, couple of years ago, a similar kind of car incident happened in one of my films, and it wasn't the fight master or the fight person that died. It was a woman and her child who were killed. So these kind of freak accidents happening. We need, of course, safety measures. We need insurance. We need various kinds of institutional protection. But at the same time, we have to understand that the film industry, because it's a business and it requires money and fights sell, that these kind of things in some ways are inevitable. Even in Hollywood, you're talking about Fast and Furious, you're talking about all these things that are marketable, right, and they make money. So we need kind of safety VFX measures, more like CG measures, more protections that ensure that these kind of freak accidents don't happen as often. And also the fight masters should, we need some kind of governmental involvement that gives them some kind of recognition that they're putting their life on the line and doing these kind of things, instead of the kind of very small amount of money and maybe the kind of energy, kind of adrenaline punch that they get at that one time. Overall, that they're taking their risk and really adding so much value to the film industry. And that should be recognized.
Right, that's a very important point, Chetan. Lata, do producers, unions, do they support these stunt artists? How does it work on the set? Because unlike other high-risk industries, are there proper rehearsal windows, safety audits, or does it differ from one film to another? Are there even emergency medical protocols or insurance enforcement like you talked about? Because Vishal was talking about how in his films, he makes sure that there is at least a physiotherapist or an ambulance. Does it differ from one film to another? Why have these things not been standardized?
Well, Vasudha, the important thing is, okay, firstly, there are certain basic safety measures which they've put into place. Like Vishal said, there has to be an ambulance, there has to be a doctor. Certain emergency measures are always taken. But what happens is, it depends on the budget of the film. If a movie is being made, on the 300 crore budget, then obviously they have the capacity to have all these facilities every day on sets. But if a movie is being made on a 20 crore budget, say, or a 30 crore budget, then whether these measures are being enforced becomes the big question, because there's no checking mechanism. No authority goes and checks on sets as to what is happening, because even in Indian too, if you remember Kamal Hassan's film, a crane fell and 3 people got killed, and that was again a freak accident, but it did happen. And they were rushed to hospital. And this is what happens every time that there is an incident, they're rushed to hospital. So really, what are the measures being taken on set? One doesn't know, though there is a protocol that they have to have an ambulance and a doctor and so on when these high action scenes, intense action scenes are being shot. So
right. Mr. Sunil Rodriguez, what should be our major learnings from an episode like this so that something like this does not happen again?
Even like accident meant to happen sometime. I heard about him a lot, about Raju, because he has done more than 300 to 400 stunts in his life. He did bike stunts, he did car stunts. I've heard about him from the movie Stunt Association. They were also talking about sometime about this guy. He's a very good stunt guy. But it happened. Even sometime it happens. It's not about the budget. Budget and whatever. The stuntman has to perform as is doing a stunt for each. If the budget is 300 crore or to 20 crores, the stunt performance is the same for the stuntman.
Right.
He has to fall on the ground for any movie. He has to fall on the ground. It's only one thing is then these days when the budget is too high, we get the safety, like the whole ground is padded up.
Right.
Like things have been taken more cautiously, but the stunt doing method is the same. And
but Mr. Rodriguez, do you think that something like a modern safety gear, some simulations or training like we see in Hollywood, do you think that kind of stuff can also make make it better, make it safer for our stunt performers, or do you think that is not something that can be done?
To be honest, we have the same equipment what the Hollywood people have now these days.
Okay.
Almost like the same, it's almost like the same. The only thing we have when we get these equipment and all, if I want to get something from US, the US doesn't send it to directly to India. So we have to get it from Bangkok or where we have to import these ways. It directly doesn't come to it time. And he's an experienced guy. He was an experienced guy.
Yeah.
And the thing happened. It's not like what Sir also told. It's about just sometimes what happens, there's a margin of like the stunt man try to do something extraordinary. Like
Right.
what the master had told him, it's a normal stunt. It's a normal stunt, and I don't want such a big stunt to happen. But the way he did it, it's the stuntman also has to listen to the action director very carefully what he has to do.
That's a very important point, because while we blame the industry for this, sadly, the master was telling him, that's what Vishal was also saying, that, this is just a normal stunt. But Lata, how do you see that particular, aspect that sometimes, and here this was an experienced stunt artist, he has done 1,500 movies. So clearly he wanted to add that extra touch. Where should artists draw that red line? Where should they sort of set boundaries for themselves so that they also prioritize safety over everything else?
See, I think nobody, when they go to shoot on a film set, nobody wants any accidents. I'm sure everybody wants everyone to be safe, to complete the project safely. That's what everybody aims for, right? From the star to the cinematographer to, the spot boys on set. They don't want any incidents. But there are such unfortunate cases that do happen. And, we have to also remember that stuntmen, their glory is by performing all these, crazy stunts. Because if you look at somebody like Tom Cruise, he does the stunts himself because he's so excited, that adrenaline rush. And despite the fact that, the stunt master says, don't do anything crazy, it's a normal thing, they want that glory because eventually they want to be known for their stunts in the industry. They want to become stunt masters, to be recognized.
Right.
And I think proper recognition should be given to them in the industry, and of course better payment and so on.
Right.
I really think they put their lives at risk, like what
Absolutely. We just have 2 minutes left. Sunil, even in Hollywood, my colleague was pointing it out that we've had cases of stunt artists getting injured. We saw what happened in Deadpool 2, where a female artist died. But these cases are fewer in number, clearly. Do you think there should be some legal guidelines as well, some sense of penalties, which will also, ensure that safety gets prioritized?
Yeah, but the thing is that whatever you do, safety, whatever things accident have to be meant to happen, it will happen. This, like the smaller thing or the bigger thing, it's like, it depends on the day. It's like nothing you can do, like anything, like
Yeah, so nothing, probably, one
like,
has to be mindful. Closing remarks from you, Chetan Ahimsa, quickly. What do you think should be a major learning from this episode?
First of all, we have to look at that all lives matter. And most importantly, we can't look at it, be overconfident, even though we've done these things. This fight master had done it maybe 10, 20, 100 times. But every single time they do it, it's very risky. These are like variable environments. They haven't done it in the same environments, haven't done it with the same team. And equipment will be different. So everything considered, each time you do it, you must try it like it's the first time you are doing it. Take all the precautions, take each lives matters. And fighters, they put their life on the line. They should be given the value both economically and recognition overall.
Absolutely.
So that's
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this broadcast. No stunt, no shot is worth one's life. That is the big learning from this.